Active. Okay, we have Confessions, episode 64 with Brian T. Bethea. This is Joe of WJHM 102 Jams, recording the Relationships Show Part 3 of Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. In 5, 4, 3.
Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. Peace, everybody. Confessions. You are listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on Jam. What's the deal, family? Once again, we back with another episode of Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Family, in case you missed the last episode on relationships, you don't want to miss this one. We're going to dive deeper, you know what I'm saying? So kick back, you know what I'm saying? Get your nightcap ready or what have you. Put the kids to bed. This is for grown folks only right now. So listen, we got some dope people to come on to discuss another topics on relationships right now. So stay tuned. You're listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. We'll be right back after these messages, family. All right, stay tuned. All right, we out. Peace.
Our mission at PMP Cleaning Services is simple: to provide high-quality service in a timely manner. Our team caters to each project's specific needs to ensure excellence. We specialize in commercial cleaning, COVID fumigation, janitorial cleaning services, move-in out of business cleaning, medical office space cleaning, and so much more. For more information and rates, give us a call at 321-356-0203 for all your cleaning needs.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friend still did not have the body she wanted. Then I discovered a solution: the cosmetic surgery place. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't spend another minute miserable. Call 407-636-5000. She did. Now my friend is all of that and then some.
Be one of the next 7 callers to receive your breast surgery free with a tummy tuck. Yes, free. Call now, 407-636-5000.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
Are you frustrated with your computer? Tired of waiting for the computer to let you get your work done? Having an IT professional available when you need him can be invaluable to your business. With a Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan, you can enjoy error-free computing and get your tasks done when you want them done. Got a virus or malware warning? Call YCS and let them remotely solve the issue for you. Computer running slow? Give YCS a call and they will remotely fix it. When? Well, right away. On average, our clients are back up and running within 10 minutes of their call. If you want your computer to run smoothly month after month, just get the Your Computer Solutions monthly service plan. Your Computer Solutions is there when you need them. Call us today at 407-826-0810. I repeat, 407-826-0810. Emergency repair when you need it. Call us, 407-826-0810.
All right, family. Once again, we're back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Family, hopefully you've been enjoying the past few episodes and whatnot. So definitely, family, just keep on listening and keep on tuning in. Tell your friends, tell your family, spread the word, of course, and definitely, by all means, let me also add, like, if you are a business owner, we would like to advertise your business. So definitely, if you'd like to have your business advertised, definitely contact me at Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on Facebook. And of course, or you can just email the station, WJHM102jams.com on Facebook as well. And we can start it from there. All right. So we are back with another episode of relationships. That was kind of a hot topic, and we really got into it last time. So we don't have the same people that we had last time. We got a new crew that is here. So sit back, you know what I'm saying? They got their teas and their drinks ready. So this is happy hour, family. So this is not for children right now. So we're going to welcome everybody in. What's going on, family?
Chill.
What's happening?
Cool. So of course we got the filmmaker Lawrence Law Watford, who's got his film Catharsis out. We got singer extraordinaire KJ on the line as well, and of course we got the caterer my cousin, Marissa Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Definitely follow her on social media if you want some food. And of course, we got the co-host of True Players Podcast, Dominic Bethea. So thank y'all for coming on, family. So I thought we started off just like this or what have you. So I wanted to talk about the Russell Wilson issue with the people calling him a simp for telling him that, for him telling his wife, Sierra, that, his biggest fear was being without her. So I disagree with the brothers that call him a simp or what have you. I think we're kind of falling way off about how a man is supposed to love his women. So to start this off, KJ, I'm gonna start with you first. How you feel about the situation?
I agree with you. Our culture, our youngins, I don't even know all the terms, millennials and all that, they are all over the place. And they are, I call them thumb bullies. They say whatever they want to say behind these screens, and they have no idea what it really takes to even be in a real successful, wholesome situation, because that's just not the end thing to do, right? For whatever reason. And we have to get back, and even, I'm not that old, but we have our own things going on in our lives, but we have to go back to teach them and show them, like, the stuff y'all doing is going viral, but it doesn't mean that it's right. So all that to say is Russell loves his wife. This is what he fasted and prayed for. He's being very true to his brand, his belief, to who he is, what he wanted and manifested. And it's just a shame that we don't see that as a norm. It's just really sad. So that's where I will leave it. But I couldn't believe the backlash of people calling him out his name, calling him a simp, calling him weak. And I was just like, if this is where we are in America, it's disheartening. It's scary because I thought it was the most respectful, most vulnerable moment for a Black man to have said something like that in public. So I couldn't understand the backlash.
Yeah. Absolutely. Don, why don't you go ahead and chip in? How you feel about that?
I'm in total agreement with you, Brian. I think the guys who are calling him a simp are haters. They don't have a woman that's fly as Sierra. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with cherishing your wife?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, why is that not the cool thing to do?
Right.
Exactly. It's, you're supposed to cherish your wife. That's what we're supposed to do. I think what got lost in the culture is all this reality shows, this love of hip hop, this Real Housewives and all that. All those reality shows has been taking over our minds about how men should cherish their women, how women should be accepted being treated as well. And that has to start to change and go back to the way it was, the way our parents did it, how they cherish each other. I mean, if we don't go back to that, this generation is going to be lost.
Yeah, I feel that. And I was kind of caught off guard myself, like a simp, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially, and sisters, I mean, no disrespect when I say this, but, sisters been waiting for a brother to step their game up, you know what I'm saying, to show their, feelings for them like that, considering, because, I mean, let's just face it, sisters get, disrespected all the time in media, songs, stuff like that, or what have you. So to finally see a brother show a positive aspect or what have you, I just thought it was like way off. Like, it just caught me off guard. Like, that's just how, the generation I grew up, or most of us here is from the same generation anyway. So, I just thought it was odd. Like, it kind of caught me off guard. Like, yo, these brothers is really like hurt. And I almost kind of wanted to call the brothers that was dissing them simps, because it's just like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen, like, I've had my heart broken before, but I've manned up, dusted it off or what have you, and went right back in the saddle again. I just don't think these guys have I personally don't think a lot of these guys have a way of learning how to deal with their emotions. So, you know what I'm saying?
True.
I thought that was,
and I also kind of want to piggyback a little bit off what Don was saying. A lot of them don't have the same examples. We can say our parents, our grandparents, you know what I mean? Like, we saw different things. Now, we acted how we acted, but there was a foundation there that was like, my grandma not taking that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I would never bring this home. I would never, but that is not the norm anymore. So they don't even see it reflected in their homes to be able to repeat it. And then another thing that I thought was just So, you know, and I don't want to kind of go here. I was just happy that Russell was loving on another Black woman as his queen. You know what I mean? Like, it was like relationship goals, Black on Black love. Like, it was just like, how could you not see the glory in this? I thought it just was crazy. The commentary was crazy.
Marissa, let me have you chip in, and then Law, I'm gonna get to you right after that.
Well, honestly, I'm going to piggyback on both KJ and Dom. I mean, they pretty much hit it on the nail. You know, it's the generation. It's the new. You know, they don't know what love is. You know, you got all these millennials, like she said. You know, reality shows. Like, this whole 20th century is just different from years ago when we grew up. So, of course, they're going, oh, he's soft, oh, he this, oh, he that. No, he's in love with who God sent to him. So he don't want that to end. You understand? Right. So, and if I go on a faithful note, like she said, you know, this is who she prayed for. So anything we pray for and we receive, we don't want to lose. You understand? So that's that's my whole take on it, you know. And sometimes, again, and not to be too long, being that I was married before, KJ said she was married before. I was married for 14 years. 14 years. I got married at 22, young.
Oh, and wow.
I feel like me and my ex-husband, made changes in his life to make him a better person. And it was just a humbling thing. You know, I'm not bragging. So it could be changes that she's doing for him. You just never know. And with a young mindset, these kids will always think negative about it. Yeah. So that's really my point in it. I think it was totally wrong. I am very happy for both of them.
Me too.
And it's just amazing. And, you know, some of these kids just need to be taught. And like she said, grandmothers are not the same grandmothers as years ago. And I'm going to leave that there.
They at the club with us.
Exactly. You said it.
They at the club with us at happy hour.
Right. Because some of my homegirls is grandmas right now.
Yeah.
Just left All-Star Weekend.
But it is what it is, you know, and that's they're leading by example, and their examples are not on the levels we grew up on. So,
Lauren, what about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, you know, B, when you called me today and you were like, yeah, did you know, we're gonna talk about, first you said Russell Simmons, and I was like, oh shoot, who we done touch now? And he said, nah, you meant Russell Wilson. I was like, oh shoot. I was like, well, what happened with Russell Wilson? He was like, yeah, you know, he made some comment, you know, something about divorce. I was like, oh shoot, Russell Wilson getting a divorce from Sierra. He was like, nah, you talking me off the ledge. But that for me, like, that's a big deal, because to look at them and to look at him and them and how they talk about marriage, to see them not make it kind of would crush me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel we have role models for everything else. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, no disrespect to anybody, but you can have a role model. You can, you know, be a role model, right? You can be a stripper, be a role model. You can be a hustler, be a role model. You can be a ball player, be a role model, right?
Right.
We have all sorts of things that we allow to be role models, you know, in the society, and, you know, with this sort of don't judge, you know, who are you to judge? But when you have a dude who is happily married after being divorced, right? Because I just actually Googled that. I know he was divorced, right? Mm-hmm. So two people happily married after being divorced are building not only a family together, but wealth together. Right. You know what I mean? Giving back to the community. To have somebody like that make a comment, and all of a sudden that person be like, you know, chastised as if that's something wrong. Like, that's not what we should aspire to. Mm-hmm. I don't know. To me, that's wrong. And part of it is because I know when we hear like simp, we thinking like, oh, some young dudes like, yo, nah, dude, you know, simp, you know what I mean? But then I also was like, there's a woke side to that I feel like can collapse on itself as well, right? Mm-hmm. If Sierra had said that, what would women be saying about her?
Wow.
You know, if she said, I can't live with him, we would be saying, oh my goodness, girl, no. That's not empowerment. In this age, you don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. Right. You know what I mean? We would have sort of flipped the script and made her seem as if she was weak for that. So, I mean, I feel like on both ends of the spectrum, there are groups of people who, for whatever reasons, have learned to not value that union. And there are very specific and intentional moves that people are making to devalue that union, to devalue marriage in general.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Because
So-
marriage, just to
Not
piggyback,
easy.
can I piggyback? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, God, let's get
Marriage,
it.
marriage is literally the only thing that represents God in the earth realm. It is not normal. I don't want to use normal, but it's not like the way. Does that make any sense for a man and a woman to come together and live as one? That now that is synonymous with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I don't want to preach. That's not what I'm on here for. I mean, clearly I'm a church.
My tambourine.
But the thing is, when you realize like you said, that woke thing, or just like that spiritual or that other level of consciousness behind why something is getting attacked, that's been the attack since the very beginning of time.
Right.
Because that to get married is a covenant thing. You get what I mean? Like that's something that you've made a covenant with God the Father, that till death do our part. I leave my mother. I know where the scriptures are, but I don't say them the right way. But I leave my mother, they leave their family. Now we become one. That's not something you do in your own strength. Whether you was married for 14 years, 2 years, 27, 67, there was another force that allowed you to even stay, you know what I mean, that long. So it's a fight against that. But I think too, you made a point. It's the fact that both of them are about their bag and about their money too, like the industry that they both come out of, and the fact that they're literally putting God on the forefront is like mind blowing to me. You know what I mean? Because they don't have to share it, but they're choosing to do so. So
and that also makes you think of a point of jealousy. I think one of you guys mentioned that. You know, look at them.
Yeah.
They're happy. They're married. I mean, of course, they probably have their own inner arguments. Everybody does. They're making money. They're having kids. Like, they're beautiful. And it's Ciara.
I'm talking about she came from honey. Yeah, she done came a mighty long way.
She did. I've seen the memes with how she dressing now with Russell compared to how she dressing with Future. You know what I'm saying? And people have been laughing at her and whatnot. But before we continue, we got to go to commercial break real quick. So listen, family, y'all listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. Got to go pay some bills. Stay tuned, family. We'll be right back. All right? Peace.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education and life skills and job training to thousands of Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of trauma. Whether it's picking down clothes in the morning or just moving around the community, serving orange, snow, and Osceola County, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousepfl.org.
Peace, family. Again, this is Brian with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. Don't want y'all to forget, also, I host a weekly open mic called Bibles Block. Who's next? Every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday at TNT Cafe. That's TEND Cafe. Address 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Woodland Park. So again, Bibles Block at TNT Cafe, 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Woodland Park. Peace, y'all.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that Tiberius sent you.
See, David Smith, law.com. Couldn't call him at 407-801-2667. Wait, you are not Chuck. My dad can help when people get hurt. You love them. If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck. Couldn't call him at 407-801-2667. The website again is smith.com.
Offices Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
T&S Beauty Supply is a Black-owned beauty supply store located minutes from Orlando in Apopka, Florida. T&S Beauty Supply is not only your local hair store supplying weave, wig, bundles, and more, but we also offer all types of beauty supply products and accessories such as barbering equipment, cosmetics, jewelry, and so much more. We offer competitive prices and quality service. Stop by or call us at 407-814-3412.
Aw, Dad, my computer's full again and I can't play the game.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
All right, family. So we're back again with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. And let me also not forget, family, also, when you get a chance, download the WJHM102jams.com app exactly how I just said it on your Apple or your Android device. You can listen to my show or any of the dope shows we got on, such as, What's Blazing with Autumn Blaze and a few other dope shows that we got coming on. So definitely download that when you get a chance. So we're right back talking about relationships. So we were just talking about the Russell Wilson and Ciara debate and what have you. And I noticed, and of course I said before we go to break, let me ask you this then. Does the right person come along and change somebody for the better, or do you have to change yourself to be better for the right person?
I think it's collective.
I think it's a both. I think it's a two-way street.
Mhm.
You have to want to change, and that person has to want to be able to deal with that. It's not easy on either end. So it's definitely a collaboration. Absolutely.
You want to add more?
I mean, I think I kind of think about it in terms of evolution. You know what I mean? Like rather than coming thinking I need to change. I mean, you know what? And it's some people do. Some people are like, you know what? There's something about this person I value so much. And I know that this thing about me hinders that, right? Or this particular thing. It could be a job. It could be the way I work, So yeah, I think in that regards, we can look at it as a change. But I think on a certain level, you evolve. You know what I mean? Like, you evolve to be able to work cooperatively,
right?
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And that's what it's about. It's not like, oh, I feel like I got to change myself, or you need to change. I'm not trying to. I wish I would tell my wife, yeah, she changed for me. You know what I mean? I ain't trying. I don't even want to have that discussion. I did change for you. I used to do this, and that. Nah, baby. We evolved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I say that because I noticed, and it's usually I have yet to see a situation where a woman has changed for the better with a man, but so it's usually a man who has changed for the better with his woman. I'm not sure if a woman has like a special power where
hold on. Right.
Well, we got special powers, so that's not up but the
I ain't trying to say hold about special powers though. But all right, listen, y'all. Listen, we get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all carried us through the election, sisters. I get it. But I'm trying to start representing for the brothers, all right? Because we've been yo, B, come on now. Look, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, yeah, maybe I help my wife out in certain areas,
I'm gonna be so honest right here, and this is probably gonna throw a monkey wrench in everything you just said. But it's kind of like, if you really look at it from the standpoint of a man, they, depending on their faith and where they are in their life, they lose when they get married. In a sense, if they're not like grounded, I mean, you can tell me your comments, but if they're not like grounded and this is what God called them to do, and they're this faith-believing person, right? His getting married has just clamped him down into one place of who he has to take care of, and he got to put up with just that one girl when he could have several.
You're right about that. You're right about it. He does lose his freedom. However, the maturity requires him to lose to understand the value of marriage. This is see, when it comes to relationships, it's called its own stages.
Right.
There's a what's just talking stage. Then we get to the dating stage. Then we get to the boyfriend girlfriend stage. Then we get to the fiance stage. After the fiance stage, you get to bride and groom, and then the final stage is husband and wife. What makes it husband and wife is what happens when you go through the hard times.
Yeah.
Because if
Okay.
you go through that time, you're just a bride and groom.
Okay, yeah.
When you enter the hard times, your faith, your marriage is going to be tested through the hard times, through the arguments. That's when, if you overcome that, that's when you become both husband and wife, no longer bride and groom. Until you get to that point, you'll still be bride and groom. And that's why a lot of marriages fail, because a lot of people don't have the mentality to rise up to husband and wife. They stay in the bride and groom stage.
Wow.
Got you.
I see that.
Gotcha.
I see where you was going with that. That reminds me of a Derek Jackson video. Y'all know Derek Jackson, the brother that be sitting in his car giving relationship advice or what have you. And he
Oh,
talked
dark
about
skin
it.
cat.
Yeah. He talked about a situation where somebody's marriage is going through it or what have you, and the guy in the relationship wasn't willing to go through whatever turmoil, what have you, to fix his marriage. So I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's basically, some people make boyfriend and or girlfriend decisions and try to make them into like husband and wife decisions, you know what I'm saying? Or try to make somebody who really shouldn't be even your man or shouldn't even really be your girl and try to turn them to a spouse and then expecting, them to go through the hard times with you, which leads me to, and Daniel, that was a dope explanation the way you said that, family. That was dope. Which leads me to what we was talking about before the call started with the Donnie, I want to say Donnie and Marie, like the Osmonds. Y'all know the movie I'm talking about with Zendaya and John David Washington.
John David. Malcolm Emery.
Yeah, Malcolm and Marie. And I know y'all had I hadn't seen it yet. I've seen part of it. And I know we were talking about like what, toxic arguments and toxic relationships or what have you. And KJ, I'm gonna let you take that one over because you was explaining it perfectly.
I don't know. I think that was great. But Dom had said such amazing stuff about the stages, so I'm kind of stuck. But Malcolm and Marie, for me, I feel like is a conversation piece that we should have in our communities. I think men should talk with men. I think women should talk with women, and I think we should come together because in the entire movie, there are literally two different languages being stated. Zendaya was very I can't think of the word, but they both had stances that made perfect sense from their vantage point, right? So you have like this fighting, and then you pause because the email comes through because he's a film director and he's waiting on a review. So then they're on the same page and she's encouraging him. And then the next scene is fighting. Mm-hmm. It was a lot to handle. It was a lot to hear. And if depending on your past, there was a lot of people that I was talking to, they couldn't even watch the whole movie because they were triggered from past or previous relationships, physically, verbally being abused and just kind of being put down. But one thing she said that it's so many things, but Law, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
When she was going off on the 100th time, she was saying, I regret even sharing all of these things with you because it's embarrassing. And now that we're in an argument, you could just bring it up in my face and try to make me feel even worse. And it's like, I never even thought you would be the person that would do that to me. And it was just like, you look at why, I'm not saying that that's a reason not to share, but everybody can't deal with that level of vulnerability and being scrutinized or it being put back in their face. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought it was to me, it was mature enough for her to even be able to say that because it wouldn't have been no movie if he was arguing with me. I would have walked out that door and started setting stuff on fire because I just don't know how to deal with somebody talking to me that way. But kind of what was your take on the way that they were going back and forth continuously?
Yeah, I mean, well, on a couple levels, like as a filmmaker, I thought it was brilliant. You know what I mean? Because there was such an authenticity about it. Because partly they were a young couple, right? So you have that they're a young couple like with 2 years in the game, right? Then she's young, and I don't know if he's probably slightly older, right?
Yeah.
And then it was, to me, it was a thing about timing. You know what I mean? Like the things that affect us and the timing of things. I mean, the conversation was so, like you said, layered and rich, which is what you said earlier, which I 100% agree. But one thing, because I know like a lot of people were like triggered and what have you, but one thing to me, it talked about honestly how people who hurt you, who love you, will hurt you the most.
Will hurt you. Yeah.
Right. And we hurt because we're hurt. Right. So I've literally been in arguments with my wife where we're like going in, you know what I mean? And it's not out of like an intentional, meaning to be, abusive or triggering. It's like, I'm hurt, you're hurting me. I'm hurt because you're hurt because you're hurting me. If somebody else would have said that, it wouldn't hurt me, but
it wouldn't hurt it bad.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that line Common in that song, was it the light? I want to be the one to make you happiest and hurt you the most. You know what I mean? Like that's so real. And I feel like as we talk about the maturity around marriage and whether it's, Russell Wilson and Sierra and our outlook, I think we have to be realistic and understand that, to get to that, not bride and groom phase, but husband and wife phase, as Dominic said, it takes pressure, it takes beating, it takes a diamond, it takes enough of that to become elastic. And sometimes that involves really heated arguments, really hurting, and then discussing that hurt. You know what I mean? But I feel like we're in a society now where everybody's saying, no, if somebody hurts you that way, then don't be with them. And then people wind up alone because they can't, I guess they're not elastic enough. They haven't been pressure tested enough. And they feel any relationship where that happens is like, nah, never mind, I'm out.
I think another thing, kind of piggyback on that, like we have to have, one book that changed my life was Crucial Conversations. And I recommend it to any and everybody, whether you're in a relationship or not. It helped me in my job, how to talk to people, you know what I mean? How to set up different stuff. I think we have to be very honest. And there's another layer of communication when we go into relationships. Like what Dom was saying, I think it would be ideal if I went through all those stages. I didn't go through all those stages before I got married. I got a man and a boyfriend, and then I started doing wifely things before I said I do. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we don't even go through I want somebody to court me. I don't know what that looked like. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, because we rush and we go and we just kind of, it's like impulse, right? Going off our feelings. And instead of saying, hey, like when I finally sat down and talked to my ex-husband, my husband at the time, this is what I have. This is my definition of a husband. Well, when he wrote down his definition of husband, it was not the same.
Right.
These are conversations we should have had before we said I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm playing a role. I'm thinking this is the role of a wife, but that's not your definition of a wife. You know what I mean? So here we are in the middle of something, playing these roles based off whatever we base them off of, whether we try to say it's church or not. Even in that, it's a very, it just gives you a overview, I feel like, of what you should do. Men respect, women respect your husbands, wives make you submit to you. So it's just like, we have to be honest to say, hey, I love you. I like you. This is something that I want to do. I want to live my life with you, but I don't know what that looks like. Like, are we willing to sit down and put in the steps to say, you know what I mean? This is what this relationship looks like. It's not going to be like our mamas, not like your mamas. You can't leave out of here. Getting advice from just your single friends, or you like, those are the conversations that are not being had until divorce hits the table. And then you're looking like, well, hey, I didn't even know who you were for the last 10 years.
You know what, to piggyback off of that, I'm looking at some of the conversations that are being held in front of the children. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know a lot of single parents, or at least I have friends that are not with the, their child's mother or their child's father, what have you. And even myself, I have to watch sometimes, like what I say in front of, to my son's mother, or what have you, at least how I say it, because I don't want that to translate to him in terms of how he thinks, in terms of how they think it's okay for them to talk to a woman. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times they're not, I see no translation in terms of communication or what have you. And I think that's why a lot of us are like, you see a lot of the young people like flying off at the cuff or what have you. Like I just told this this story on the last episode about my last relationship episode. And I remember being in Harlem one day, and I was walking down, I think like 137th Street or something like that. And I don't know what this husband did to his wife, but all I know is she was pissed. And all I know is she had like her two homegirls with her and what have you. And she went off at the cuff at him. And I'm like, yo, that's not the way you're supposed to talk to your spouse. I don't even care if it was the other way around. You don't do that in public or what have you, especially not to gain no, like cue points or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Because now, in a case like that, not only does that make him look a certain way, but it primarily makes him look weak. And it kind of actually makes him look both weak. You know what I'm saying? Because if you explain something a certain way to your spouse in the middle of an argument, you know, depending on how you say it, it can. Would y'all agree that it kind of, depending on how you say stuff, it almost makes you kind of look weak, like what we was talking about with the Russell Wilson situation?
Yeah, it makes you look absolutely. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and just to kind of to get back to what you just said, Brian, and what I'm gonna say is, I don't think it would make you look weak, but I feel like you said, that's something that needs to be discussed privately. That should never be, but it comes with emotions at that time.
Right.
You know, I've lashed out in public before with my ex, and I realized, whoa, you know, and then when he comes back at me, it's harder. So it's very embarrassing on both ends, first off, you know. So but I think it's just that quick instinct, like, oh my God, did you just, you know what I'm saying? And then you realize, wow, I just embarrassed myself. So I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one, because I've been in that situation, and it's not a cute thing.
And you know what else I've learned, and it has a lot to do with maturity and a lot of counseling that I've paid for. Okay, it's easier for me to react than to respond.
There you go.
Instead of like when I have those kind of blow ups, it's because truthfully, I can't believe you just hurt my feelings that deep.
Right.
But that's not what comes out. My default is
Exactly.
like I'm in this verbal fight, and because I know I can't physically beat you, I'm gonna try to kill you with these words.
but sometimes words is worse.
But and words are worse, because for a man, he goes off of what you say. That's what's going to linger.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to learn. I'm learning how to position myself to be like, okay, pineapples, I need a timeout. So I can come back and tell you, like, this really hurt me because I didn't think you would say that. You know what I mean? But I didn't understand that level of vulnerability where my default is just to be rah-rah.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a maturity thing, learning that it is okay to speak my words. If I feel like crying, I'll cry. You know what I mean? But, you know, based on where you raised and what your definitions of.
I also want to share a word of advice for anybody who's listening. I looked really quickly.
Hold on, Mo. Let me let you bring that back. Hold that thought, write it down so that you don't forget, because we got to go to commercial break. So we'll come right back and handle that. All right. So listen, fam, you're listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. We'll be right back. And we'll pick right back up where we left off after these messages, family. All right? Stay tuned. Peace.
When I'm driving, I'll listen to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
Homeowners, realtors, property managers, and real estate investors. If you're looking to make that house a home, from kitchen, bath, flooring, hot clean removals, drywall, and paint, True Time Maintenance is your go-to company. Licensed and insured, saving commercial and residential. Upgrade your home or business today. 25 years experience in the business, they can surely meet your needs. Give them a call at 407-723-3826. That's True Time Maintenance, LIC.
Rich Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearms training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trade, gunsmithing,
Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer is fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. The Trivia Show would like to thank Body Creek Neighborhood Adventure for being one of our sponsors. I got to go in a native belt and saw a real gator. I got to go to the gem line and find some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant. We even got some gator rights. Have a blast with the entire family. I suggest you go to www.bcerboats.com right now and tickets today. The website again is bcerboats.com. Big State Fire has been providing top quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Big State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency light kit for both your home and businesses by visiting www.bigstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. The Target Show would like to thank one of our dedicated sponsors, Custom Design Door Lake. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom Braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering, to trophies and awards. They can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0372.
All right, family, and again, we're back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Go ahead, Marissa, you're going to pick up when you were going to leave off. Let's redo that. Oh, we're going to do that one over. My bad, y'all. Hold on. Technical difficulties for y'all watching on my Facebook live feed.
You kind of know over that one.
Yeah, I did. Bad.
Okay, let's try it again.
All right.
You can reach them at 407-898-0372.
All right, family, and again, we're back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM102jams.com. Marissa, we're going to start right back up from where you left off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just speaking on the whole relationship, and just a word of advice, because I'm going to use that in my next relationship. I was watching a kind of like a podcast with married couples, 2 to 4 years that they've been married, and how they deal with arguing. So I've never heard this before, and I don't know if you guys have. He said and she said that they deal with their arguments. If they don't talk about it in 24 hours, they have to let it go. So the next day, no matter what the argument was about, what they're upset about, if no one addresses it in that 24-hour period, the next day, hey, hon, hey, like nothing even happened. And that's how he said they have dealt. I think they've been married 6 years. And this is what they decided. This is how they would deal with their arguments. No arguing outside the house, no arguing in front of people. They made these rules and they had to stick by them. And there was nights where one didn't say anything or the other didn't say, or they would say, listen, honey, we need to talk about this. Get it out, 24 hours, they'll finish it and go to bed holding each other. They never went to bed mad because this is something they put in place prior to them being married. You understand? And I thought that was so awesome because I used to go weeks being mad at my husband. And that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's horribly unhealthy. It's a bad feeling to come home knowing you're not speaking, you're not talking, you got attitude. And I was like, wow, when they said that, I said, I'm going to use that in my next relationship because it seems to work. I mean, talk about it or don't. If you're mad about it.
I don't know. That's just, that one. I don't know. That to me is, okay, if they both agree.
And that's the thing, they agreed. And listen, my next person may not agree with that. But I'm gonna say
that. Ask him first because I guess my thing is to like sometimes like I know you're saying 24 hours. Okay, let's just let it go. But the thing is that doesn't mean that it's getting resolved.
No, yeah.
So just because we don't talk about it, you know what I mean? And like you said, you've been married before. He can do something in the kitchen, honey, and you go slap off that don't have nothing to do with him dropping that cornbread. It got everything to do with what he said.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? So no, they might not I just don't see the resolve in that. So that might be a little.
And not to say that it may be easy for them. I can imagine how hard that can be, because that I was like, but I was like, that is a good idea that I would, ask him. Listen, this, that. See what he says and try it. I'm not guaranteed to stick with it.
Yeah,
Right.
I know I'm not mature. I'm like, listen, remember my 24 hours is up. But I was 32. I remember when you had said, and I just
listen. The whole thing is it's working for them. At least that's what they said on camera.
See, me, I be messed up because I mean I'm like all sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like my wife be getting like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind being sensitive. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I love watching, The Bachelor with my wife. I'm that dude. You know what I mean? You love that too, baby? Well, you might have to love the fact that I'm going to go ahead and let this feeling marinate a little bit. Think of all my arguments. Take 4 days thinking of all the points you want to say.
Right.
I'm going to say this and be in my car talking to myself. Good thing that we got cell phones now, Bluetooth, because people be like, they don't think you're crazy no more when you're in the car. Like, you said this, you know what I mean? But I may take a little while to process. And I may be feeling a certain way, and I don't necessarily know 100% how to communicate it in a way that you're going to get it. So sometimes I take extra time trying to lay it out. But then my wife and I are different in that regard, right? Like I am, I'm a writer, I'm a screenwriter. I like everything to be like, I need to make sure you hear everything. You know what I mean? And she's more like, no, I get it, nuts and bolts. I'm like, nah, you can't nuts and bolt this. You know what I mean? You can't multitask this particular thing. You know what I mean? Like, I need to really explain it. And we need to because of the way I think, I need to make sure that you clearly know what I'm saying. Not that you know your version of what I'm saying. Because there'll be some times we'll be discussing, I'd be like, yeah, and I just feel like, when you do X, Y, and Z and the way you blah, 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 you lean into your friends, blah, blah, blah. So what you're saying is I don't care about you and you basically want a divorce.
We assume our own thing, right?
It's like, what? And I'm like, what? Wait.
I didn't say none of that.
Say that. Like, what are you talking about? I said A, B, and C.
We do. I do. We assume our own thing. Yes.
And I gotta add in right here because I know me. Yeah, I'm not sure if that 24-hour thing will work for me because I'm a Virgo, and we I mean, you know how that is with us. Like if you don't make if it don't make sense, you know how Virgos are. If it don't make sense to us, like we ain't trying to hear what you're saying. Like you know what I'm saying. It got to be specific, and we always have to have the last word, and we're petty. You know what I'm saying? Well, I might not be, but I can't speak for the rest of them Virgos. You know what I'm saying? But
so you better speak for yourself, but you put that out there on all Virgos.
Listen, some Virgos are petty. Yes, that is.
Really?
Some are. Yeah, some are.
Yeah, very, very petty. You got to have the last word in everything. So.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard, and I know, it's hard for people, especially people who are Tauruses, more into a Taurus.
No, I'm a Gemini, and it's very hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's everything hard for you because y'all is crazy. Bipolar. It is two of you. I hope I get to meet the other one of you on another episode.
I'm not that bad Gemini though. Like people say, it's too. Like I have to explain my two side Gemini. I have to explain it. Not that like I can get crazy if I have to, but I don't just jump crazy like some of them do. That's why I said that 24-hour is good advice, but it wouldn't work for me. I would offer it to my partner, see if we could try it, but.
Yeah, another thing I want to add here is I know what me and my wife had decided to do. We did, and she's watching my live feed, so baby, I'm gonna be respectful. I know what she and I have decided to do is try to, use that word, try. We decided to watch how we speak to each other. So make sure when we have in the middle of a disagreement, make sure that we speak to each other in a certain tone. Because I know how I am. I'm that type. I want to get my point across. Like Law, I'm a little emotional, sensitive or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And I really want to. And
hold on, you can use the E word, Ryan.
Emotional.
You can use the E word.
And plus,
you can be emotional.
I'm a New Yorker, so I mean, Carla's the only one on here that's not a New Yorker, but New Yorkers know how to express to each other hardly without making it seem like we, dissing you or what have you. It's like New York. it's like a New York attitude. We kind of understand each other or what have you, and she doesn't understand that. So it's like, she's from a whole different things, but it's like, so sometimes I'm aggravated because of that. Like, I wish you was from Brooklyn or something like that. Cause you understand how I feel right now, you know what I'm saying, without getting mad at me over something. But, she's not like that. So communicating with each other and teaching each other how to communicate with each other is another key I like to add. But we got to go to commercial real quick. We'll be right back with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102jams.com. We'll be right back after these messages, family, please.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education and life skills and job training to thousands of Title Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of loss, whether it's moving out clothes in the morning or just moving around in the community. Contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousefl.org. Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play the game.
Call your computer solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling your computer solutions at 407-826-0810. Hi, my name is Tamia's boy. I work with your computer solutions. If your computer is not working, my dad can fix it. They can fix it on-site or remotely. Just call them at 407-826-0810 and tell them Tamia sent you. That's me. That phone number again is 407-826-0810.
Hey guys, this is TC1, and when I stay in Orlando, I like to stay at the Quality Suites over on International Drive. They're amazing properties, simple rooms in an all-suite hotel with outdoor pool, a restaurant, plus free Wi-Fi and shuttle. Guys, give them a call at 407-363-0332. They're located at 7400 Canada Ave, Orlando, Florida, 32819.
Hey family, again, this is Brian with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. Don't want y'all to forget, also, I host a weekly open mic called Writer's Block. Who's next? Every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday at TNT Cafe. That's TEAND Cafe. Address 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. So again, Writer's Block, the TNT Cafe, 127 West Fairbanks Avenue in Winter Park. Peace, y'all.
All you dolls out there, this is me, Sizzle. 2019 flew by and my friend still did not have the body she wanted. Then I discovered the solution. The cosmetic surgery place. Yes, cosmetic surgery. Don't spend another minute miserable. Call 407-636-5000. She did. Now my friend is all of that and then some.
Be one of the next 7 callers to receive your breast surgery free with a tummy tuck. Yes, free. Call now, 407-636-5000.
This is Aretha Simons. When I'm driving, I'm listening to Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on 102 Jams.
All right, family. Once again, we want to say thank you for joining us on Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHM 102 Jams. Of course, this is part 1. We're going to come back in with part 2. But of course, my people want to give out their social media. And real quick, Marissa, OJ's on my live feed. He said he's watching. So that's her ex-husband, y'all. So without further ado, we're going to start with Law. If you want to give out your social media, family.
Oh yeah. So I just recently got on Instagram not too long ago. Let me look it up.
Recently?
Well, I mean, it's been like a year. They used to call me No IG Law, but now I got IG. My wife can't stand it. I'm on it relentlessly. Oh, so IG is Law Divine Right, DIVINEWRITE. That's Law, LAW, Divine Right. And I got Twitter, which I just got on. Man, forget that. Let's go to Facebook with my old school heads. and that's at Divine Right Pictures and Tyler Street Films.
Don't forget, you got this film, Catharsis, right now. Yeah.
That's right, Divine Right Pictures, DIVINEWRITE.
Yeah, we got to hurry this up. My bad. Marissa, you next.
Okay, I am on Instagram at that_chef_Rissa. And again, that's that_chef_Rissa, RISSA. And my Facebook name is Marissa Jackson.
KJ?
On IG under All Things Carla. That's Carla with K. And then I'm on Facebook, KAYJAY. So that's where you can find me.
All right, Dom?
You can definitely find me on Facebook, www.facebook.com, True Players Dom, TRUPLAYAZDOM. On Instagram is instagram.com/True Players Podcast, TRUPLAYAZ Podcast.
All right, and of course, we got myself. Of course, you can find me, family, on Facebook at Confessions with Brian T. Bethea. That's Brian with an I. Last name is spelled BETHEA. On Facebook, also, you can follow me on my artist page, Brian T. Bethea Confessions. Last name again spelled BETHEA. First name spelled with an I, not a Y, and definitely not spelled brave for all you other people. So, and then also on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram at the Phoenix 516. That's THEPHOENIX 516 at Instagram and Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, the same handle, the Phoenix 516 and Twitter as well. Also follow me on my website at reverbnation.com/Brian T. Bethea on reverbnation.com. And listen, I need more subscribers to my YouTube channel, daggone it. So follow me on my YouTube channel, Brian Bethea, and YouTube, and definitely download the WJHN102jams.com app, exactly how I spelled it, on your Apple and or your Android devices, family, all right? And of course, we would like to advertise your business, so reach out to us or what have you, family, so we can advertise your business. So it's been a pleasure. We'll catch y'all next time with the same people. We got another dope episode with Confessions with Brian T. Bethea on WJHN102jams.com. Peace.
Are you frustrated with your computer? Tired of it?
Do we need to log off of here and log back on, or?
Yeah, in a second. And,
It's gonna take about 15 minutes.
Yeah, give me about 15 minutes, and then I'll let y'all know when it's time to log back on.
Okay, so
We have to
come
render
on
the
now,
show.
then you-
Got you.
Yeah, because we got to download the show, and so that we can upload it into the system or what have you. And Laura, you able to come back for another hour, or you can't?
I think I can. I'm gonna go ask my wife.
Can y'all put y'all Instagram stuff in that group chat that he made, like so I can find y'all? Cause I couldn't write and type that fast.
You want me to do the in the chat for the Zoom, or?
Yeah, like put your stuff in there so I can start following y'all and all that stuff too.
So Brian, log off, and then you'll tell us in the group chat to come back on.
Yeah. And KJ, make sure you check your sound, because for some reason you are sounding like robotically a little bit towards the.
It's just a blown speaker.
Do you have check this? Can you check to see if you have maybe a blown speaker?
Or lower the volume down.
Or just lower your volume down, because that might have been the problem.
It just started towards the end. You were fine.